Hello, welcome everybody. This webinar is organized by Pune River Revival, which is also called as PRR. We are a group of many organizations and individuals who mainly work for rights of rivers. We want rivers to be clean, healthy, pollution-free, with rich biodiversity. And so that is what we want to, let many people know, and we want to reach out to many people. So one of the programs that we do as part of this outreach is these Wednesday webinars. We have these webinars every Wednesday. So last Wednesday, we had a great webinar with Ashwini. And this Wednesday, we have another young and dynamic speaker for us, that is Shalvi Pawar. So Shalvi mainly works in the field of ecological conservation. She works with ICOS and Adivas Foundation. She is also very active with PRR and with our Tekdi Bachao group. Of course, she can tell you more about her work. But one thing I wanted to let you know that with all these webinars that we conduct, many people actually ask us that we are also interested in this. We also want to do something for the environment. What can we do? Are there any opportunities? Many people also ask me, are there any work opportunities with PRR? So PRR is all voluntary work. Everybody really works on their own. We do not have any paid opportunities, but these are all valid questions, and everybody wants to know how they can have career, how they can have different opportunities and still be very much working for the environment and in the field of ecology. So shall we, over to you. Please go ahead. You can introduce yourself and let us know what all can be done in this field.
Yes. Thank you, Prajakta ji. Am I audible?
Sure, you are.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm glad you all could join the webinar today. I'm equally excited to share whatever information I have regarding the green space. And just to brief you all quickly, I would want you to understand what you can, expect in today's webinar. So I'll mainly talk about the green space, as in, people usually call it sustainability. There are many other terms like, there are multiple domains of sustainability as well. So I'll be covering mainly about the green skills that are actually required to get into this space, and also which are certain green organizations, be it in the field of architecture, engineering, restoration and conservation, or even product design. So that will give you an idea of, how the space is looking right now and what is the future scope. So just give me a minute. I'm sharing my screen right now. Oh, is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So before I move on to the topic, just to brief you all about my work, to give you an idea that why am I actually interested in this. So my recent work has been before I joined Oikos and Adivas for restoration conservation projects. I was previously working with Pune International Center as a sustainability research associate and team lead. And I was also part of the carbon neutrality cell that was formed under the Divisional Commissioner's Office. And recently, I've also started, gaining more experience in the field of biodiversity by, assisting in surveys and making biodiversity reports. Before that, what I have studied is, it's important to share this because that's what we are going to talk about today, green careers in education. So I've done PG diploma at Ecological Society. Many of you know that very well. It is based in Pune. And I've also recently completed a course in ecological restoration, which is offered by Society of Ecological Restoration and BNCA College of Pune. So SER is based in US, but they have collaborated with BNCA to provide this course. and it's a very good course. And I've also studied botany because I love studying, flora and fauna, and that's also a part of my work. And even before that, I've done bachelor's in business administration, so a completely different field. And uh, actually, I can actually say that I have entered into the green zone now, because previously my field was very different, but my entire work experience has been in the sustainability field. These are just a few pictures from, the certain events and roundtables that I was a part of, that I had conducted when I was a part of Pune International Center. Recently, I had an opportunity to co-author for a book on sustainability, in which I co-authored, in which I wrote a chapter called Essential Approaches to Sustainability, where I talk about how we can overcome greenwashing. So in today's world, everyone knows that we need to do climate action, but there are certain things that might go wrong intentionally, unintentionally. So how to cater and how to address those is what my chapter talks about. Also, a short, quick disclaimer. So anything that I'm going to recommend in this webinar, it's not compulsory that it's the only college or best course or college. There are multiple options, but I've tried to put them together to give you all an idea about it. So basically, what are green jobs or green careers is, when you work for protecting or conserving environment directly or indirectly with different kinds of expertise, can be called as green jobs. So it's actually the scope is very huge, and it's not limited to only 2 or 3 fields. And the most important question, can a student or a professional who is already working in a different field, can he or she switch to a green career? Then definitely yes, because I have done that, and also have talked to many people. I have met people who have switched to green careers or started green careers long back, and they are still continuing to do it in different fields, and not just conservation or not just energy or ecology. So how is the market right now for green jobs? Then I came across this data where it mentions that right now India has around 18.5 million green jobs. This was published around 2023, and it is expected to grow even more in the coming 20 years and reach up to like 35 million green jobs. So there's no doubt that there's scope. We just need to find the right place to be in. Next, so if you want to enter into green space, you should know what kind of green skills are required. There's no doubt that you need to keep upgrading throughout your career, no matter which field you are in. You have to keep upgrading yourselves, your skills. So most importantly, if you're interested in, natural sciences like, let's say, ecology or zoology, or even if you are from chemistry or physics background, there are multiple options that you can choose and use your expertise of that field and convert it into a sustainable career. So that is one type of skill you should have, or knowledge you should have. Then there's something called carbon footprinting or ecological footprinting. So, whenever certain things are made, different products are made, there are different processes behind that. So calculating those greenhouse gas emissions, including, so carbon is just one part of it. There are many such greenhouse gases. And a more holistic way is calculating a footprint of a thing or an activity which is more wholesome, and that is ecological footprinting, which actually considers different aspects, like there's land, there's soil, and there's no one such element. There are multiple of them, and then you understand how a certain business or how a certain product or activity is going to affect all these factors. And then there's life cycle analysis, which is a tool that is used to calculate this, and lots of new things are coming up, and things are evolving with new research and development. Then there's environmental engineering. So if someone wants to say that, I want to become an engineer. Now there is another option. You can actually become an environmental engineer and not just the conventional engineering options that we have. Uh, then there is sustainable designing for architects, for designers. There's sustainable consulting. So mainly these people work with the corporates for ESG, that is environment, social and governance reporting. Then there's climate data analysis and risk assessment. So for example, these big companies, big four companies or top Fortune 1000 companies, they need to understand how climate change is going to affect their own business. So they need experts to understand that. For example, they need raw materials from some agricultural land to make a certain, let's say, some processed food, some let's say banana chips or something. So they need to understand how is climate affecting the production of different vegetables or the foods that are required or the foods that are cultivated on a certain land, and how is that going to increase their cost and how can they mitigate that. So that is what is risk assessment. That's a very small example. Then there is geographic information systems, system tools that are used for ecological mapping, hydrological mapping, and this is mainly used in restoration and conservation projects as well. This is the eighth point is about the approach you need to have. So you need to, so it's not just about the skills when you're in the green space. You need to understand that you need to develop some kind of approach or a perspective when you deal with problems. It's not black and white all the time. And then there's experiential learning, the most important part. So you be on the field, you volunteer, you intern, you get on the field, like literally on the field and understand things so that you develop good knowledge and good skill set. And again, the same thing. So lots of, so when people get into environmental engineering or biodiversity assessments or conservation or ecological restoration, there are certain survey and assessment skills you need to have. You need to be good at that as well to carry out these surveys. There could be many other, but these are the main ones. So recent happenings around the world and in India are that so BRSR has been made compulsory. And that's why for the top 1000 Fortune companies. So that's why the number of green jobs has increased in the corporates as well. And another latest happening is GRI, which is a global reporting framework standard, has introduced biodiversity, so GRI 101, biodiversity, as a new parameter in the reporting, which is a good addition, which is a good change that is happening. And this will increase the need for biodiversity experts to come in and help companies understand how they can protect biodiversity and not just look at carbon emissions and that emissions, because that is just one part of it. And of course, United Nations declared this decade 2021 to 2030 as the ecosystem restoration decade, which is why the focus on restoration and conservation projects is increasing, and not just forests, but even the water bodies or the wetlands or the peatlands. All of them are now being restored by even in India and outside India. There's lots happening in this field. So just to quickly tell you what fields there are in green space. So we can divide them into two segments. One is very core natural sciences segment, which through which you can become an ecologist, circular economist. So circular economist is someone who understands how materials flow in the economy, so that okay, this material should be substituted with something else, and which has less carbon footprint, or which is less damaging to the environment, or something that can be recycled with less energy and efficiently. So this is just one example of circular economy. Then there is landscape ecologist, marine scientist, and so on and on. All the these are the actual roles that you can take up. And this, it's not limited to this, there are many, but these are the ones that are very much in the market. Secondly, so when I say integrated with environmental sustainability, what I mean is if you want to get into engineering, architecture, or product designing, you can study that, but you can include sustainability in that field, in that profession. And it could be, architectures can, so lots of people are now, there's lots of demand for eco resorts and eco-friendly or sustainable or energy efficient buildings. So there are architects who are working in this field. I'll mention those organizations in the upcoming slides. So this is just to give you an idea how even, software engineers can develop a software um, to calculate, to manage, and to analyze data related to carbon or GHGs, or when there are large scale projects happening, we need such softwares. And then there's again GIS, which is used in forestry and ecological mapping. There's law, policy, governance, and many of them. There's journalism as well. Down to Earth or Monga Bay, they look for amazing, they have these amazing positions open for journalists who are interested in media and communication and journalism and research. So that's also there. Ecotourism can be interpreted in different ways, but what I mean is you basically help people understand nature in a better way through tourism. It's like a study tool as well. Then there's media, and then there's CSR. So a lot of companies, because they have to spend their CSR funds on social or environmental projects, a lot of companies are now hiring sustainability heads or CSR heads. And recently, I met a person who was heading a very good companies, large scale companies. CSR, and even so in terms of financial growth, even this field has good financial growth. So you get a good pay. With good experience, you get a good pay as well, because I'm sure that is something that we also look for. Financial aspect is again important, and not just passion. So yeah, just to quickly tell you about how the sector in green space looks like. So there are private companies or organizations like these big multinational companies, the large scale companies. Then there are even eco-social enterprises. There are small and medium companies or consultancies. For example, there's Tata Consultancy, there's Ernst & Young. Then recently I came across an eco-social enterprise, if I'm not wrong, Farmers for Forest, who are, which comes both in social and environment sector, and they help preserve the ecology as much as possible and also help farmers. Then there's ERM, which is again a consultancy based in Delhi, and they hire biodiversity experts for different projects. Then the second category is private organizations, but they are not for profit, not necessarily, but they are funded through philanthropy, through crowdfunding, through CSR funds. And such organizations could be the Nature Conservancy, WRI, which is World Resource Institute, then WWF, United Nations, and there are many of them that have come up now. Third category is the government, government funded projects, or the think tanks that are associated with the government. So there could be think tanks in this category as well, which are private and not affiliated to the government. And then there are think tanks affiliated with the government. So there's NIUA, which is based in Delhi, and it is a government think tank. Then there's WII, World Wildlife Institute of India. And there are multiple government departments who hire people for, on project basis work for such projects. Then the last category, which is also very important, is the freelance consultancy. Um, so if you feel like, okay, there's not enough scope to work in this field, or maybe I'm not getting the kind of job I want, then there is always an option of starting your own consultancy, your own firm, your own green business, and become an entrepreneur. And capital funding for um, such firms is very much available in the market. You need not depend only on government schemes. You can look for seed funding for angel investors who are very much interested in doing this. And of course, they have their own reasons. They have their strategic decision for investing in such companies, but there's nothing wrong in that. So I've mentioned a few green businesses here to give you an idea. Some are based in Pune, some are based out of Pune. So someone who wants to start organic farming, then there's BioBasket, which is based in Pune. Then there's Priho, which is into sustainability reporting. And there's Vayu, who are into biofuel, into green fuels. Bamboo India, then Go Do Good is into biodegradable packaging, and which I think, if I'm not wrong, uh, it also comprises of product designing, which is again a new addition to this space. Um, yeah, so just to name a few organizations in this space, so there are multiple of them, but these are the ones that I've heard of or known of, and that's why I'm putting these here. Green Space Alliance, then there's sustainability initiatives, Biome, Manson's, and Econor. You can check these out. These two are based in Pune. And so architecture does not only mean that you build a home made out of earth materials, which is soil and stones. It's not limited to that. You can get into sustainable design as well, or sustainable materials other than these materials. So recycled materials, or a sustainable energy efficient design for buildings. So you need to explore that. You can go through these companies and the kind of work they do. Only then you will understand what kind of role you would like to take up. Then there's product design. They are into biodegradable materials and energy efficient products. So that is one sector that you can look into. And on the right hand side, you can see it's a mix of all actually. It includes all the organizations who are into environmental journalism, policy, environmental engineering, restoration. And one organization can have multiple openings for multiple categories. So these are a few organizations. Wherever you feel like you want to take a snapshot, you can, because I'll be just quickly going through these slides, and because there's nothing to explain in some of the slides, it's just the name of the organization. So yeah. Then moving on to the next section. So, okay, so we've talked about what is there. Now so now I would like to share a few courses that will get you there. Though they are not limited to this, but just a few of them to give you all an idea. So IIM Kanpur has a master's in climate finance. Then there's if you go through GRI Academy, check them online. They have this impact reporting course, for which they have tied up with KPMG company, and it's a course that you can do it online, and it is certified and actually credible, because a lot of companies also look for credibility or from where you have done the course. Sometimes, I mean, a lot of times they do, but after all, your skills matter. And that you can develop only through working and starting work in that field. Then GARP offers sustainability and climate risk certificate. Then IICSR is into sustainable finance, CSR. They are based in Goa, but they have online courses. Then there's also Institute for Carbon Assessment and Restoration Ecology. Um, uh, So I think they are based out of India as well, but they are also based in Pune, and they have this course called Environment Data Analytics using R programming. So when you're working on certain environment projects where you need to analyze data on a large scale, then you need to have such analytical skills and programming skills as well. So even Azim Premji University offers a similar course in this. So you can take a snapshot of this as well. Other than that, there's um, a course on ecological restoration that I have done, which is by SER. Other courses in restoration are Azim Premji University's Foundations of Land Restoration, and Zurich also has a training program that's coming up soon. So you can check that out as well. And for again, for sustainability reporting, there are a few more options. You can check these out. So IGBC, mainly architects would be interested in this, or energy efficient or energy auditors who want to get into energy auditing would be interested in this course. Other than that, when you talk about getting into fields like organic farming or permaculture, or some people say natural farming. So there is a difference in all of that. Even I'm still learning that and figuring out different kinds of activities in this field. But you can check out these organizations and see how they have developed their farms into organic farms into a business, and they are doing very well. So for that you need to be on the field and learn, because some some careers, they need field experience, and when you realize that it gets very easy to develop those skills when you're on the field. For those who want to understand about climate change and someone who has no idea and is starting very new, can check out United Nations e-learning platform called Learning for Nature, or even other platforms like Udemy and all of that, Coursera. There are many basic introductory courses for beginners who want to understand different aspects of green space or climate change and related issues. Of course, other than green skills, you need to develop good, MS Office skills and other technical skills, communication skills and management skills, because that is going to help you fit into different roles in different organizations. Again, these are a few colleges, universities based in India, which provide MBA in energy and environment, like Symbiosis. BNCA provides environmental architecture, a master's course. IIT Roorkee provides masters in renewables, again in architecture as well. And there are many in different from different fields. There's MSc Conservation at ATRI, NCPS in Bangalore, and there's TERI. You can look for more options in your own state or country. These are just to name a few. Moving on to the next slide. So those who want to look for overseas education, see, the dynamics are different for each country. But as far as I know, and I've talked to a few people, and so Erasmus Mundus is something which is quite well known. A lot of people know about this. So it's a joint master's program provided uh, there's this tie between Europe and India. So it's a part of that, and you can do your master's is funded if you are working in an environment. If you want to study some environmental subject, especially for masters, if I'm not wrong. Then there are other countries. Scandinavian countries have good options as well. UK has 1 year masters, so I think it's totally fine to do 1 year masters, and there's nothing wrong in going the unconventional way. I think that's what even sustainability is about, going the unconventional way. So that's totally fine. Then whenever you apply for masters abroad, do check for the permanent residency requirements in those countries, because based on my research, so so jobs like, careers like working on the field, if you are working in national parks, if you are working with if you are an environmental engineer, or if you are working in conservation and restoration projects, there are certain guidelines, different guidelines for different courses and different field of work. So you should check that no matter wherever you go. And someone who wants to do a course specific to this, in India, we have forest management there's Indian Institute of Forest Management at Bhopal. But someone who wants to do river or wetland ecology, then there are options which are available outside India. And there are very good options. You can just Google it, you can check on LinkedIn, and you'll get multiple options. And next is, these are just a list of fellowships and grants that you can look for if you want to uh, do your masters in this space. These are specifically for climate change related or green courses related fellowships and grants. Yeah, so these are the ones. The last one, I think it's available for all the streams, but you can still check these out. You can, just save these for your reference and do your own research and find out to that. Yeah, so this is the last topic. So I wanted to address greenwashing because now that everyone is realizing we need to do climate action and we should go green and do this and that, a lot of people misinterpret or mislead. Sometimes they don't understand what actually going green means. This is important to know, because if you're entering into the green space, you should know what is the impact of the work that you're doing. Uh, it, and greenwashing, I've written it in red because not in green, because that is something we should not do. We should try to eliminate greenwashing. So yeah, so when if you have heard about carbon offsetting by different, these big companies talk about carbon offsetting. A lot of times, not maybe every time, but in a lot of cases, what happens is, I'll give you an example. Let's say a factory is being set up, at the outskirts of the city, very close to the city, and there are farms near the factory, and the factories. All the processes and everything is actually, impacting the soil of that agriculture land, and it is, leaching out chemicals and all of that. And on the other side, if that company, whoever's factory that is, if that, if it's a good, well-known company, if they want to release their ESG report and everything, if for that or for their CSR funds, if they plant, let's say, thousands and 2000s of trees somewhere in other city or in a secluded area, and then they claim that, oh, we have offsetted these many emissions because we have planted these many trees. That too, sometimes the plantations are not done in scientific way. So there is a method of doing plantations as well. You can research about that. So if they claim that, oh, we have, offsetted these many carbon emissions by these many plantations, and here on the other side, their day-to-day activities are affecting the social and ecological factors around their campus, then that is in a way greenwashing. So I hope you understood what I mean. So basically the impact is not that well when it comes to taking climate action. So you need to be very critical when you think of climate action, about the solutions that you come up with. You cannot shift one kind of pollution to another kind. So when you're trying to solve air pollution, you cannot you can't neglect the waste that is created and the water pollution that is causing, because you're opting for some other solution. So you have to be very holistic in that way. So yeah, so that's about greenwashing. But because we have these problems, there could be new careers that can come up. There could be new roles that can come up. For example, this is not new. So research and development is something that has been happening continuously. So people, experts like circular economists or different or hydrologist or environmental engineer can come up with solutions that can help address greenwashing, that can help reduce greenwashing as much as possible. Another way could be, impact auditors. A role of an impact auditor could be to check the impact of environmental actions, that is, the actions those are taken up by these firms, these large scale companies, which claim that, okay, we have done this and that. So understanding and auditing the impacts of such actions is again very crucial. So more the challenges, more the solutions, more the scope for, working on those solutions is how I look at it. But that doesn't mean we create more problems. That's not the point. Lastly, just a few suggestions. Even if you are still studying, I would suggest you start volunteering wherever your interest lies. Look for internships as soon as possible. Wherever you feel like your interest lies, you go there and work. Network with people. Attend various events and seminars related to your interest, and also interact on LinkedIn. Try to find out, okay, this is what I want to look for. Okay, I want to see how circular economist works. Search for that keyword and find out people who work in that area, and talk to them, because there are people who, who reply and help you understand the dynamics of that space, that career. So that is again very helpful. And most importantly, you have to understand, you have to realize, if you want to get into research or a technical job or a management role or something into more of an executionary role or a leadership or entrepreneurship role. So that will again help you narrow down your options further. And again, for schools and colleges, this suggestion is for them, that they should conduct as many information sessions and seminars for young students or even college students on green careers and green careers that will help them understand this space as soon as possible. So yeah, that's from my end. I'm done.
Thank you, Shalvi. It was extremely useful, very powerful. I'm sure people have lots of questions, and Sanjeev is going to moderate these questions. But before that, I'm just going to take 1 minute, and I'm just going to let you know that these webinars, all these series is organized by Pune River Revival. And this is all voluntary work. We really spend our own money and do all the work, whether it is awareness generation or whether it is data collection or whether it is water testing. So it would be good if you can, as Shalvi said, if you want to volunteer with us, that's great. But those who cannot give time can at least give some money, and the information about donations is given in the chat box. So please donate how much ever you can. Every little counts. That's all I'm going to say. And Sanjeev, over to you for the questions.
Thank you. So, Shalvi, that was a very comprehensive presentation. I think covered a lot of things and looks very impressive, and I think it will be very for people to learn more. So I just go through a few questions. From whatever I could see, the questions are more like asking, what do you say, career type of this thing, suggestions. But anyway, I think we can take a few of them. And so one of this person, he has said that he has done BSc technology. Okay, so which side will be more efficient for him in future? And he is personally interested in plants biotechnology.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah. So this person, Vishal, he said his education background is BSc technology.
Okay.
And what would be more efficient for him in future, as he's personally interested in plants biotechnology.
Plants biotechnology.
Yeah, that's his interest, personal interest. So he has done basically in biotechnology. So what are
Okay.
whatever?
See, if you are interested in technology, then like I mentioned, I think environmental engineering is something that you can look for. You can try and find out even by yourself, or by looking at people's profiles and how biotechnology careers where that has led them to. But as far as I know, getting into environmental engineering is something that will cater to your interests.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Visha. Arjit has asked, are there any short or medium term online ESG courses? So
Yes. So, just a second, I'll just go back to that slide. So these are the courses you can, just note these. So these are the ESG. So ESG related courses are coming up a lot in, on online platforms and offline platforms. You can check GRI academies. So Global Report Initiative, that is GRI Academy. They have a course that is very well accepted by a lot of corporates if you want to get into corporates. And others, there's IICSR and again, Sustainability 101. So this organization, they do have this course, but I'm not yet sure if it is accepted by a lot of companies, but it is a good learning platform. So yes, that's about ESG.
then Nishant has asked a particularly long question. So one is he's doing environmental science final year, MSc, and he has the question that in college the curriculum is not sufficient, so they are asked to do more certifications and learn skills. But the courses are quite high. They charge very high. So
Oh.
since they are unemployed and already they have paid high fees, they find it difficult to access this. So are there any free certificate courses which are useful? So how to manage this skill thing? How to get more skills? That is his first question. The second question, probably I think he's heard from others that his seniors are getting placed in some firms, but they are paid very less, like around 25,000 per, and they have to work long hours. And they also don't know how long they'll have to keep on working like this. What's their future? So, are there any high-paying opportunities which will help, to give a dignified future for them?
Okay. So for the first question, if you have done
About
MSc
skills, yeah.
Environmental Science,
Yeah.
so to gain more skills, it depends where your interest lies. If you want to get into corporates, then obviously ESG reporting or climate risk assessment courses, like the ones that I've mentioned here, or similar courses to this will help you. But if you want to study GIS, then there's this Center for Tropical Biodiversity Conservation. They have a course in GIS applications, in forestry and hydrological mapping. So it's an online course. You can check that out. You can look for similar courses in GIS. One more thing, it might sound very basic, but getting your Excel skills right also helps you a lot. So that is another skill you can develop with doing certain courses and practicing. Other than this, again, if you want to get into conservation, then I would suggest SCR and Azim Premji University or Zurich. These are the training programs that happen in the field of conservation. And if you're interested in any other field, then you'll have to check out where your interest lies and what are the skills required for that particular role. So yeah.
And the second question was related to seniors getting less amount. So how can they get high-paying opportunities?
So which field is this?
In the same field, I think environmental science related fields. That is what I think.
Because okay, so in environmental science, what I've observed is a lot of people get into environment impact assessment or environmental consultancies who do such assessments for different constructions and different projects. So for EIA, the market, what I have understood is the growth is not much right now, maybe when it comes to, when you look at next 8 years or 10 years or 5 years. So if they are interested in getting into, any other field, uh, like, let's say they're good at GIS, so they can get into GIS. So there are lots of companies who provide GIS services for for big organizations who are doing conservation and restoration or other environment or landscaping projects. So that is one thing, because you'll have to upskill and look for different options if the current option is not really working for you, if that's what you meant.
Thanks for it. I think good answers. The next question is from Harshit from third year MET Pune BB, I think from your college. So he wants to pursue a career in environmental sciences. He's good with handling data and analytics. He's also interested in physical geography. So what career can we suggest if he has to pursue his masters in Europe? I think we cannot maybe answer very specific colleges or whatever, but I think you can give a general answer is what I think.
Yeah, so regarding the courses, if you're anyway planning to do a master's, then so again, it depends where do you want to specialize. If you want to specialize in engineering part of it, if you want to get into designing, so what happens is overseas, when you look for other options outside India, they are open to taking students who have a different background than the masters. So that is a very good, that's a benefit when you go out. In India, that might be limited, but if you're planning to go out, then maybe you should, try for environmental data analytics if you're good at analytical skills, like the one that I've mentioned here. Though this is a very short course, but if you want to get an idea of it, you can try and do this course before you, jump into the masters. So this is, so you can check this organization, Institute for Carbon Assessment and Restoration, or Azim Premji University's course. Yeah.
So the next question is sort of a comment. I don't know that we can. Arjit is saying this greenwashing is very widespread and dangerous. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on Zomato's claims of carbon-free deliveries? I think it might be a little bit long-winded answer. There may be a little bit, we'll have to get into details. So I just pass this question and you can maybe take it separately. Akash is asking, are there any short-term weekend volunteering opportunities in Pune for working professionals that you could recommend? Yeah.
Oh,
You
yes.
can answer, but there are a lot here.
Sorry?
I said you can answer, but there are lots. So
Yeah, there are many. Even a
Yeah.
Google search will help you understand. But to give you a very specific mention of specific organizations, starting with Jeevit Nadi itself, Pune River Revival. Then there are organizations. There's Green Hills organization. There's if you want to volunteer, then there's 14 Trees. You have lots of options to volunteer with them, and it's not just about. It's not only, planting something or cleaning something. You can use your own skills and help them, grow. So these are a few options.
yeah, I mean there are many.
There are
Akash, I
many.
think you just have to look around. What is the
Maybe
problem
Sanjeev.
around what is there, and you can see who is working in that. So like we are working on river, so you can just join us there. Dr. Suman Pandey said, if anybody is interested in Nadiki Pathshala, please contact nadikipathshala@gmail.com. Yeah, I think that's a good help a lot. I will take another few questions. Suggest future opportunities for MSc environment students. Future opportunities, job related environment field for MSc environment students. I think she had shared a few of those courses and skills, so you can go through them. Not getting new questions. I'm not able to see any more questions.
So looks like those are all the questions. If anybody wants to unmute and ask anything other than, personal recommendation, if there is anything else, please go ahead.
Somebody is also sharing their own websites on Climate Center for cities at NIUA. So if anybody wants to look at that, the link is given. So there are a lot of climate-related action type of movements are happening in different cities. You can find even in your city. Like we have many in Pune also, in sustainable city of Pune.
So
You can
essentially,
get involved in that. I think.
yeah,
Sorry?
regarding the last point. So a lot of I can see a lot of people have this question after doing MSc Environmental Science, what are the options? So see, EI is one field, but then if you're interested in restoration and ecological restoration and conservation, if you don't want to get into purely corporate jobs, then the courses that I've mentioned, plus you can see even if obviously those who have done masters wouldn't want to get into doing another masters, of course. So you can just do these short courses and start volunteering for a few days or interning. If not volunteering, there are interning opportunities as well. And you can get into organizations like, let's say, yeah, so here you can see there's WRI, there's WEF, United Nations has, again, several environment projects. So you can work as a project associate, project manager of a certain project going on in some state or a city. So your work is not just, so if you are someone who has good management skills and leadership skills, you should aim for that as well and not just those, conventional options. So you can check out these organizations and different roles on LinkedIn. And trust me, research on LinkedIn helps you a lot to understand these dynamics.
Thank you, Shalvi. This was very useful, and I'm sure everybody wants to go over this again and double check the courses and the organizations. And for you, I'm just letting you know that this webinar will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube and search for Pune River Revival, and then you will find our channel. We have this will be uploaded tomorrow. We have these webinars on every Wednesday. You can see all our previous webinars. There is a playlist called as Wednesday webinars, and you will also have such useful webinars in future. That means next Wednesday and the Wednesdays after that. So do join us. The link is going to be the same. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel also. So I know many people were asking for this PPT, but you will get the whole recording along with her commentary on our YouTube channel. So, and you can also share it with your friends and family. I know lots of students are here, so maybe many are looking for jobs, so they might not be in a position to actually give the donations. Those who can, please don't forget, do help in whatever manner you can. Students, if you want to volunteer with us, definitely you can do that. Other than that, I think if you are specifically interested in rivers, then our WhatsApp group link is there in the chat. You can join our WhatsApp group. It is specifically for Pune rivers. And we are also on other social media like Facebook, Twitter, Insta. So do follow us, so you will get to know about our other events and programs. So that's all about it. Thank you, Shalvi. It was so wonderful. We had a great response, and I'm sure many people will still want to contact you in future asking for your advice. It was very, very impactful, I would say. So thanks again.
Yes, thank you, Prajakta ji. I'm glad that I could help and share my knowledge. And if anyone wants to contact me, they can, contact me on LinkedIn. So yeah.
Okay, that's great. So great to know. If anybody wants to directly talk to Shalvi, you can contact her on LinkedIn. Very good. Thank you again. See you next Wednesday. We will have another useful webinar. Do come back.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Good
Just
night.
one thing,
Thanks.
so everyone, Sanjeev ji, you have mentioned about Pune River Revival. I'll tell you one thing, being a part of such movements, it really helps you build a different perspective. So, like a lot of people were asking for volunteering organizations, but actually being a part of such organizations and being consistent is so important. And there are so many ways you can even network with people over here. come here and network with them. You'll find people working in different different spaces, be it even if it's a green space or not. So even that is very helpful. So that's why I'm saying ki, go out and meet people and volunteer. And of course,
Volunteering actually also builds your interpersonal skills, your communication skills, and these all soft skills are so very important to get a good job.
yes, and also a lot of overseas universities, maybe in India as well, but a lot of universities outside, they ask you if you have volunteered with different organizations. So that helps you build a good profile as well. So,
And they ask you for recommendations also. So if you
yes,
volunteer with
exactly.
any organizations, they will give you a recommendation letter.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, Shalvi. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. See you next Wednesday. Bye. Good
Thank
night.
you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Shalvi. Thank
Thank
you very
you. Thank
much.
you very much.
Bye. Very well said. Very well said.
Yes,
Great.
thank you, Shailaja. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Bye. Bye.